This is gonna be the lower back and hip restore. So to do this set of exercises, we're gonna need a small 5-inch ball that has a little bit of give to it, lacrosse ball. If you have a small wedge or a small pillow, works great. Some rollers, ideally at least one, or a small platform you can have your heels against on the wall. And then a Swiss exercise ball would be ideal. So, big exercise ball. And a small, and we'll need a roll of towels or a small ARX pad to put our knee on top of. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start off trying to open up our hip flexors and our quads with the lacrosse ball. So this is gonna be to contract, relax on our belly. So we're gonna lay down, make sure you have enough room. You're gonna start off in the top half of your hip, so have that ball just below the pocket. So you're gonna place that ball quarter of the way down your leg. It's the top, make sure it's in the top half of your thigh, and make sure it's in the center of your thigh. We're gonna lay down on it. You can cross your arms so you can relax your lower back. We're gonna bring our heel to our bum 10 times in this position. So bring your heel back and then back down. Nice and controlled, trying to keep some pressure into that ball. And if you don't feel any tension, just try to adjust that ball so it's more in the center of your thigh. And you should have a little bit of a stretch as you pull back. You should feel that ball dig in. And as you extend down, try to release, let your leg relax around that ball. So we're gonna go 10, then we're gonna go 10 with the heel coming across to our other butt, so to our other butt cheek. So your toe is gonna be pointing outward. So up and across. So we're getting the inside angle now. So we're gonna go 10. And then next, we're gonna go heel going out. So now your toe is gonna angle towards your other foot. Have the heel come at an outward angle 10 times. So it'll be more, the ball's gonna be digging in on the outside of your hip. Now we're gonna put that ball the bottom quarter of our leg, so a little bit above your kneecap. Make sure it's on your muscle. Make sure it's in the center of your thigh. Cross your arms, relax. We're gonna do the same idea, the same principles. For me, this one's a little bit tighter. So you go heel to your bum and then extend that leg back straight and trying to relax that thigh as we dig into that ball. You should feel as you lock your leg out or get close to extension, the ball is able to dig in a little bit more. So we're gonna do the same idea, 10 straight up and down, 10 heel coming in, and 10 heel out. So now let's go with that 10 heel coming across to our other bum. Try to breathe through it. If it's really tight, just go a little bit slower. Just take your time. You can always pause the video and focus on the tight spot a little bit longer. Now let's go 10 heel out with that bottom half. So now the ball is digging in on the outside of your leg, close to the IT band. This should be pretty tight. This one's gonna be a little bit sensitive. But just try to keep relaxing around that ball, breathing through it. All right, awesome. Now we're gonna switch that ball over to the other side. So same idea. We'll start the top half first. So top quarter of that thigh, just below where your front pocket would sit. And we're gonna start straight up and down. Try to keep that knee in line with that hip. We're gonna go 10 times, bringing your heel to your bum. Nice, a few more reps there. Nice, now we'll have 10 heel coming across to your other butt cheek, so to your first bum. Just trying to make sure you can relax your head down under your hands, let your lower back go, make sure you don't have a major arch. Nice, now we'll go 10 heel out. So make sure we start with that heel across, toes pointing in, the heel is coming out to the outside of your hip. Awesome. Now we're gonna go to the bottom half. So So remember, just above your kneecap, a little bit above there. Make sure that ball is centered. It's gonna be a little more uncomfortable. At least it is for me. And we're gonna bring the heel to our bum, straight up and down, 10 times. Nice, now we'll bring that heel across to our other bum. So now the ball should be on the inside of your thigh. So now we're gonna go last 10 here. Have that heel come out. So now the ball's on the outside of your thigh. Take your time. Work through that range of motion. Breathe, let that ball dig in. Awesome, we'll finish up. And then we're carefully gonna grab our small exercise ball now. We're gonna go into the first 90-90 hip lift. Awesome, so now we're gonna go into our 90-90 hip lift. So we need our small 5-inch exercise ball or small roller. We're gonna have our other small rollers or wedge, other small rollers or a little platform against the wall. And ideally, if you have a small wedge, this is where we're gonna use it. So this is gonna actually be the first part of the setup is we're gonna have our knees and hips at 90 degrees. So as you can see, I need to go a little bit closer to the wall. So we'll scooch down a little bit, be as close to 90 as you can. And then before anything, you're gonna either by yourself or with a partner, carefully pick your bum up, and the wedge is gonna go directly under your tailbone and spine to help put you into a pelvic tilt, posterior tilt, influence it. So in this position, we're gonna have that 5-inch ball between your knees. Your feet are gonna be pushing into the wall with the rollers directly under your heels. So pressure coming in, pressure pushing down the wall, and I want you to imagine that we're trying to pull the wall down with our heels, and at the same time trying to mimic the angle of that wedge. So think belly button, waistband down, tailbone scoops up. And then in this position, we're gonna breathe in through our nose, and that longer exhale out through our mouth. Try not to let your ribs flare up. So keep a little bit of tension in your belly, but not too much. And the whole time, I want you to think about rotating, tucking your pelvis up. So think waistband down, tailbone scooping up. So we should feel the back of our legs and a little bit on the inside. So if you feel your back overactivating, really try to reset if you need to, come back down, and then push into that wall, pull down, and tuck that tailbone up. So I'm still on the wedge a little bit here, and that's fine as long as I get that orientation of feeling my hamstrings and feeling my groin. And we're gonna go 4 to 5 breaths, and then we can relax. So we're gonna have 3 more rounds through this right now. So take your time, get a few reset breaths here. It's a lot to think about. So first, remember, pressure on that red ball, push down to the wall, and then pull down through the heels to help scoop our tailbone up, waistband down. And in this position, breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. And as we breathe in, let that breath and that pressure come all the way down to our pelvis, and then out through our mouth. Nice, relaxed with pursed lips exhale. Try to get every last drop of air out, and then back in through our nose. Keep the ribs down so that breath comes all the way down, and then out through our mouth. Keep that pressure on the wall so we still feel our hamstrings, we still feel our groin. Nice full inhale, nice full exhale, and relax down. We have 2 more rounds through, so take a second here to relax. If you need to move that out of the way, try to chill out for a second, let it go, and breathe. We got 2 more rounds. Another few relaxing breaths here. And remember, we're just trying to feel these muscles turn on. And we want to feel the bum tucking up so the lower back gets rounded. The idea is we're trying to feel those muscles just turn on. Not overactive, we're not straining, we're not muscling our way there. Just a little bit of that light switch, everything's on. Right, so we're gonna come around number 3. Ball between our knees, feet against the wall, pulling our feet down that wall, kind of like we're Spider-Man, pulling down at the same time, waistband down, tailbone scooping up. So you should feel our hamstrings. And in through my nose. Full breath in, all the way down, then out through our mouth. The whole time trying to think. Waistband down, tailbone scooping up. Two more breaths here. In through our nose. Full pressure, and out through our mouth. Try to make sure the hamstrings stay on, groin stays on. Last breath here. Nice, relax down. Awesome, that's 3 rounds. We have 1 more round coming through on the 90-90 hip lift. Take your time. Make sure that lower back is letting go as we go through these exercises here. And if you don't come that high off the lift, it's fine. Don't beat yourself up, it's not about height. It's about the tuck, feeling the muscles turn on. Take a second. A few more relaxing breaths here. We get our last round through. All right, so here's the last round. Remember, pressure on the ball, feet in the wall, pull down. And as we pull down through our heels and our feet, waistband down, tailbone scooping up. Really try to feel that left heel if you can. Keep the whole left foot pushing. And feel the left hamstring more than anything possible. And through our nose, full breath in, and then full breath out. Keep tucking as we get to exhale. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then out through our mouth. Awesome. All done with the 90-90 hip lift. So we go ahead and we can move that 5-inch ball out of the way, and we can move that wedge out of the way for right now. We can relax for a second before we move on to the small cat-cow. All right, so with the small cat-cow, we're gonna need our small towel roll here. So it's gonna go under our left knee, and I'll show you from the side. So I'll show you facing this direction, actually. You wanna try to position that right knee slightly in front of your left, just slightly. Hands are gonna be directly under our shoulders. So the first step we're gonna do is we're gonna work on pushing the ground down. Try to get your shoulder blades away from your ears and wrapping around your back. And then I want to make sure we push that belly button back and we try to tuck that bum a little bit. So that might be a small weight shift forward, but don't have too much tension. We're not straining. So with the shoulder blades away from my ear, pushing down, tucking my bum, all right? And this is the end range of that cat. So this is that nice lower back turned off position. So as we go through this, we're gonna breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're gonna release just your hips, but don't lose the shoulders. Breathe in, we tuck under, and breathe out. So we want to breathe in as we tuck, and breathe out as we release. Awesome. We're gonna come through, we have 3 more rounds through this one. So just a very small range of motion. Try to keep that tension through your upper back the best you can, so keep pushing the ground away from you. All right, so imagine pushing that mid-back up. round number 2 here. So we're gonna breathe in as we tuck. What's wrong? All right, so we're gonna get, all right, so this is gonna be the small cat-cow. So hands are gonna be on our shoulders, left knee is gonna be on the towel, right knee is gonna be just a tiny bit in front of our left, and it's on the ground. We're gonna work on pushing the ground away with our upper back. And then this exercise is really gonna be about the breathing and your hips. So small range of motion here, but try to focus with the shoulders. I'm pushing the ground away, and my shoulders are also down away from my ears. So it should look like I have a turtle shell with my upper back. And that's not really gonna move too much. As we do this, we're gonna breathe out as we tuck our bum under. So I'm tucking. I'm gonna breathe in as I relax. I want to keep my back pushed the whole time up back push. So try to breathe out. Relax through. So the next exercise, we're actually gonna need the 5-inch ball still, and we'd also be beneficial to have a pillow for under your neck and head. So we're gonna lay down on our left side. You're still gonna need access to your wall. So if you use the little box or rollers, move those out of the way. And you wanna scooch far enough down. But we're gonna lay down on our left side, and you want your knees and hips around that 90-degree angle still. So you should be a similar distance to the wall. And you wanna make sure that we're on the side here, that our hip is stacked directly over our other hip, and then with your upper body, so our head should be supported on this pillow. And honestly, I could probably use another one here if I wanted to. I wanna make sure that my ribs are tucked slightly and my lower back is pushed back. So that similar position where I'm flat or a little bit round here in my lower back. You definitely don't wanna be arched, okay? So you wanna be able to feel our abs turn on, be able to breathe with our back. So we're gonna put that 5-inch ball between your knees, make sure in that nice stacked sideline position. And while we're in this position, what we're gonna do is we're gonna first make sure your feet are flat on the wall and really try to focus on pushing, keeping that tension the whole time, not losing the feeling of your whole foot. That's why we have our sneakers on. So as we're gonna take one breath in, find that neutral position, and then as I breathe out, I'm gonna try to slide my right leg forward just a few inches. Make sure I'm in that tuck position. Slide a small corrective, that's fine. And I'm gonna push down, just slightly anchor that ball, breathe in. And as we breathe in, we wanna have that breath go all the way down the bottom of our pelvis. Okay, so honestly, under your little sits bone there if possible. And as we breathe out, we're gonna inch that right thigh forward again. We're gonna breathe in, anchor. So try not to lose any progress you made forward, and then breathe out. Shifting forward, it's gonna get less and less every rep. And ideally that 3rd or 4th breath, we're at the end range of motion, how far our leg can go forward without basically tipping forward. Breathe in as we anchor down. And then relax. So try to let it go. So the idea is we breathe out, we inch forward, and we breathe in as we anchor down and try to get that breath all the way down, full pelvic drop as we inhale. So we're gonna go round number 2 here, make sure those feet are flat. on the wall. Take a second to get set up. Balls between our knees. And I'm gonna take a breath to neutralize here, make sure everything's in the right position. So ribs are stacked, lower back's flat. So I just feel my abs a little bit here. Kind of tucked position. So I'm gonna breathe in and then exhale. Thigh slides forward. Inhale. Anchor down. Exhale, inch forward. Don't lose that heel. Inhale as we anchor down. Exhale, inch forward. See, I'm already on Mandarin. Inhale as we anchor down. Exhale, inch forward. Inhale. And relax in between rounds here. So remember, we're not forcing this. We want to feel those muscles turn on like a light switch. Take a few seconds to relax. We have 2 more rounds through those 4 breaths. And try to make sure when we're doing that exercise, you should feel your groin firing up a little bit. We should feel our hamstrings a little bit. And we should also feel our abs. And especially on the inhale, you want to feel the bottom of your pelvis become a little bit pressurized. So that full inhale down. It's honestly going to make you feel like you need to fart, and that's perfectly fine. It's encouraged. So feet are going to push into that wall. We got round number 3. Take a breath or 2 to neutralize. And then we're ready. We're going to exhale, slide forward. Inhale, anchor down. Exhale, slide forward. Inhale. Anchor down, making sure that we're still in that tucked position with your ribs and hips. Exhale, inch forward. Inhale, anchor down. Exhale, edge forward. Inhale, anchor down. And relax in between rounds here. Take a second, recoup. So with this left side lying exercise, I just want to make sure we focus on when we do the anchor down, try to imagine bringing your left knee up as we do that. Nothing too crazy, again, just the muscle turning on. All right, so round number 4 here. Make sure everything's set up, feet are flat on the wall. I'm in that 90-90 sideline position. Head supported by that pillow, or as you can see, I don't have the second pillow, so my hand's under my head. Take a breath to neutralize. Make sure we're good, we're stacked. And exhale. Inch that right leg forward. Inhale. Pressurize, anchor that ball with that left leg. Exhale. Inch forward, inhale. Anchor, making sure we're keeping that pelvis position, so staying a little bit scooped. Exhale. Inhale, anchor. Exhale, inch. Inhale, anchor. All right, that's 4 rounds. We can relax for a second. So next is going to be the modified all 4 belly lift. So we really just need our mat for this one. You're going to get set up on your hands and knees. Your hands are going to be under your shoulders. Your knees are going to be under your hips. So in this position, we're going to try to maximally round our upper back. So really focus on pushing the ground away and keep your shoulders away from your ears. So think scap on ribs, so your shoulder blades wrap around your back. At the same time, we're going to try to roll our pelvis under just slightly. And then in this position, just try to shift your body weight forward so your nose is over your fingertips, while keeping that maximally rounded position. When we get here, you should already feel your abs starting to engage. And then the exercise right now is we're gonna lift up one hand slightly while you keep the other side pushing away so you don't lose the position of your back or your hips. Try to limit any rounding or twisting. Keep pushing away. I'm gonna go 4 breaths here, in through my nose, out my mouth. Keep that round position the best we can. As you can see, this one's pretty hard. Trying to keep that nose over the fingertips. And if you need to reset, reset. Try to get all 4 breaths, and then we'll switch over the other hand. So take a neutral breath in between. Maximally round everything, push the ground away. Gently pick the hand up. Keep the bum tucked. In through my nose. On my mouth. Through my nose. Out through my mouth. We have 2 more breaths on this left hand up. Try your best to keep everything even. And keep pushing away with that right hand down. Awesome. There we go. So relax in between, that's 1 round. And we're gonna repeat this 3 more times. So each round is 4 breaths with 1 hand up, 4 breaths with the other hand up. So this one's a little bit harder. So when we lift that hand up, we should feel the opposite side abs engaging to try to keep you balanced the best you can. All right, so we're gonna get round number 2 here of the all 4 belly lift while lifting our hands up, okay? So remember, hands under my shoulders, knees under my hips. Try to round our back as much as we can. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears, scap on rib, tuck the bum, small weight shift forward. All right, so this is our start and finish position. Now we're gonna pick that right hand up first, so keep pushing away, try not to rotate or lean. And keep pushing with the left hand. 4 breaths here. Don't over muscle it. You feel those muscles turn on. And then carefully switch. Now we're gonna go left hand up. So really make sure everything's set up. Push on the right, left hand comes up. Keep trying to push away, keep that back as round as possible. And then relax in between rounds. So we have 2 more rounds through. This one's probably the toughest one yet. I don't know, the next one gets pretty tough, but start slow here. If we need to just keep it less weight forward to make it a little bit easier, so stay a little more neutral. And really just try to keep that position with the back the best we can as we breathe. So we're gonna come into round number 3 here. All 4 modified belly lifts. So we're gonna push the ground away, maximally around that upper back, tuck the bum, and be in through my nose. So first, we're gonna pick up that right hand. I'm gonna in through my nose, out through my mouth. And keep trying to push with that left hand in through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep thinking your belly buttons push you back a little bit. In through your nose, out through your mouth. One more time here. Now let's carefully switch over to the other side. Left hand's coming up now. Push the ground away with the right. in through my nose, out through my mouth, in through my nose, out through my mouth. Don't lose that round position. Last breath, coming through. And relax, only one more round through here. Round number 4 of the modified all 4 belly lifts coming up. Give yourself a minute to relax in between. Make sure you let everything go. Last one of the all 4 belly lift with the hand. So remember, knees are under my hips, hands on my shoulders. Maximally around that back, tuck the bum. Right hand's coming up first. So push away with the left, in through my nose, out through my mouth. 3 more breaths here. Keep pushing with that left, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Imagine we're trying to push the center of that back up. In through your nose, out through your mouth. One more breath here. Take a neutralizing breath here in between. And then we're gonna get the other side. So left hand's coming up, so make sure you imagine me around. Push with it to right. Left hand comes up, in through my nose, out through my mouth. Last 3 breaths. In through my nose, out through my mouth. In through my nose, out through my mouth. And last breath. In through my nose, out through my mouth. And relax. Nice job. Take a few minutes here. We're going to move on to the last exercise of the circuit, which is the kneeling plank on the ball. The last exercise here is going to be the kneeling plank on the exercise ball. So we're going to start off kneeling position. Make sure you have cushions under your knees. The ball's going to be a little bit in front of you. We want to make sure we tuck our bum. We want to shift your weight forward slightly. Try to have your arms, your forearms, parallel with each other in around shoulder width. Make sure we keep some tension down through that ball. We're going to pull it towards us. And I want to try to push the ball down so we're in that similar all 4 belly lift position with our back round. Bum is tucked in. And in this position, I'm going to go 4 to 5 breaths. In through my nose. Try to get that breath in the lower back. Out through my mouth. Keep talking as I breathe out. In through my nose, out through my mouth. In through my nose, try to get that breath down your back. Keep pushing those forearms down, out through my mouth. One more breath through. And then out through our mouth. The whole time through, I really want to think about, as we breathe out, letting our belly push back and our bum tuck into that position without over muscling it and trying to get nice big breaths. Let that breath come down your mid back. All right, so we have 3 more rounds through this. So you should really feel the sides of your abs working, feel the front engaging, everything turning on here. So we're gonna come back and go round number 2. So let's try to tuck our bum under. We're just gonna push down up all their forearms around shoulder width. And pull towards you slightly so we engage our glutes. Push down, I'm in through my nose. And out through my mouth. In through my nose. Out through my mouth. Try not just let your elbows poke into the ball. Pressure the whole forearm. Through my nose. And out through my mouth. Last breath here. And out through my mouth. Awesome. The last 2 rounds through here. Really try to focus on when we're in that tough position, letting that breath come all the way in, all the way down to that drop feeling. Round number 3 coming up. I know it's a tough one. So we'll get back into position here. Take your time. Relax a little bit longer. Pause it if you need to. So we're gonna make sure we remember, we're gonna come back. Forearms on the ball. Create some pressure down. Tuck our bum under, round our back. And try your best to relax your neck through these. Don't be too strained up or strained down. Try to let it turn off. To make sure I'm fully tucked. I'm into my nose. Out through my mouth. Into my nose. Out through my mouth. Into my nose, out through my mouth. Last breath here. Awesome, and we can relax. Let it go. We got one last round through this, and then we can shut it down and breathe a little bit. So take your time recovering in between, try to get nice full breaths. Come down, it's getting up there a little bit. Remember, we're trying to feel those muscles turn on. Don't overstrain, don't over muscle. So if you feel your abs too much, don't push down so hard into the ball. Just try to push down hard enough to keep your back grounded. So we got last round through here. Got this. So forearms going the ball around shoulder width. Push down, round my upper back. Tuck my bum around my lower back. And into my nose, and out through my mouth. And out through my mouth. Last 2 breaths here. Out through my mouth. Last one here.